Today I would like to tell you about a woman who has withstood war, death, sickness, and old age because of her unwavering faith in Christ. This woman is my namesake and my grandmother, Dorothy Anderson. She was born in Charleston, South Carolina, and she met and fell in love with my grandfather when she was in high school. They went through hard times of separation when he fought in World War II. Throughout their marriage, they were both very active in their church. It's called St. Philip's, right here in downtown Charleston. And my grandfather was a doctor who would often treat people for free. And my grandma would patiently endure late nights when he was on call. And the really cute thing about my grandparents that I remember is they still had puppy love in their late 80s. Usually people, when they get married, they kind of get over the puppy love phase, and it just becomes normal life, and they have to really work at loving each other. And I'm not saying my grandparents didn't have to work at loving each other, but I just thought it was so sweet the way that they could still basically get butterflies around each other. And I remember one night I was at their house, and they were getting ready to go to dinner, and my granddad was upstairs getting in his tux, looking all spiffy, and my grandma was downstairs getting ready. And she came upstairs, and at the top of the stairs, she opened the door and stood there and looked at my grandfather, and he looked at her, and his mouth just dropped open, and he said, "You're beautiful." And she said, "Well, I'm just so blessed to have such a handsome husband." And it was just so cute. It was really sweet. I just really love how much they really served each other and just loved each other for so long. And so they were married for 65 years. And a few years ago, my grandfather suddenly passed away from a heart attack in my grandma's arms. But she had her identity firmly founded in Christ, and so she didn't break. And she continued leading women's Bible studies very, very actively, and right now she's almost 90 years old, and she's still as sharp as ever. And I remember a verse, I'm not sure the reference, but it said, "Fear of the Lord will basically make you live longer." And she's almost 90, and she looks, okay, I gotta show you a picture of this woman, I'm sorry. Well, this is my grandmother, and that's my grandfather. Their names are Nanan and Baba. Not really, Dorothy Anderson and Mac Anderson, but I call them Nanan and Baba. And here's another picture of them. But my grandmother has not changed one bit. She's still just as sharp as ever, and even though she knew my grandfather her whole life, was in love with him, he was a part of her. They were one flesh. Even though that was ripped away, her foundation and her identity was in Christ, and she's not strayed away from that. And so I just love her so much, and she really, really inspires me. And so that's who I really admire, and thank you so much for listening.